You are in a pit of rants. This one's from Monco Destroyer, who says, rant about your Discord. This is an interesting time to do that because of the fact that I just made my Discord completely free. It is not open, but it was connected to my Patreon, and because of the fact that I am changing the way that I do my Patreon once I'm all caught up on these rants, I am planning to make the Patreon for the Otagonzo tapes as a series, as opposed to being for just everything I do as a human, because I want customer satisfaction and a clear product that I can deliver to be, what the Patreon exists for. But when it comes to stuff like rants or other things that I'm going to do, I want to sell that kind of stuff separately as its own stuff with a store. Like my albums, anything I do that is not the Otagonzo tapes, I want to fund through some other means than Patreon. Patreon will just strictly be for a show, which is the best way for a Patreon to be. And so, in light of that, I'm not interested in having a community that is just a reward for people like buying my series. I think that's really bizarre. There already is a community there, so it doesn't necessarily make sense to open it to the public because that would just dilute the community that exists. But, for me to be able to, bring new people in, at my own pace is, ideal, as opposed to it being just, whoever gives me money gets to be a part of this community, and, most of the people who are in there don't really have much to do with it. It's not a place I want people coming and going from, but I also don't need it to be something people have to pay for. And it's easier for me to communicate with people more directly if they are not customers, if I'm not treating them as customers. Because early into the Discord's existence, initially my thoughts behind it was sort of this will be the best way to gather, people who think like me or who have the same approach to media as me are probably going to be people who watch my videos. So how do I gather those people, but within a manageable amount, so I don't have to, hire moderators and manage, a huge community, because I don't really have time to do that. So I created the Discord, but I quickly realized that, I couldn't have honest conversations in there with people who are paying to be there. It feels wrong to me to sort of, maybe come at somebody for their beliefs or get into big arguments with people or really make it clear that someone is not necessarily wanted when they paid to get in there. So that kind of conflict kept me from really engaging with the community fully. So instead, I had a board that's called Discussing Digi Content, as well as boards for the patron reward content, for each tier. And I consider those to be the boards I have to read, because that is customer report, essentially. And it's also where I can talk to people about the direction my work is taking and, figure out what people like and don't like and stuff like that. Who likes and doesn't like what, as I get to know these people better. But, actually participating in the community still remained, difficult for me as somebody who looks at it as, I am providing a service in some way. So that is no longer the case. It's now free. If you want to get in, you can contact me through, DMs. Give me your reasoning, I guess, and I'll send you an invite. But they will all be one-time use, 1 hour only invites. So make sure you're ready if you want to do that. But yeah, hopefully the Discord will be a fun place for me and people who I think are cool to continue to hang out.